My 29F wife has lost a lot of weight. I want to 31M make sure she is okay. Throwaway account here. So my wife has always been pretty average size, 5 feet 7 inches, 130 lb sish. I don't know 100% because we just don't talk about it. But has mentioned in the past I do know when I buy her clothes. And I ask. She always said she was a size 6. If that helps. She was also always pretty strong. Does massage therapy and was really good at deep tissue. I mean, there are times when she has worked on me and it hurt. And I am not a small guy. About 6 months ago, she started changing things. Not really eating junk food. And she joined some classes at the YMCA, yoga and some cardio. Since then, the weight has really fallen off her. I don't know exactly how much because the few times I've asked her, she has said, I don't know because I don't care to weigh myself, so I just drop it. But if I had to guess, I think she has lost at least 2,025 pounds if not more. She seems healthy in terms of energy and her skin has really cleared up. But I have noticed some other things. I was doing laundry, which I do a lot, and her jeans are now only size 02. Doing massage, she has to do her own sheets. And the other day, I heard her really struggling to carry the bag of laundry up the stairs. Yes, it's a big bag, but never have I noticed that, and we've been together for years. I asked her if you okay with that, and she just said she needs a strong man to help her out and started flirting and getting intimate with me. Is she changing the subject? Which leads me to my next point. Without too much info, she looks completely different without clothes. She had some curves etc. before, but now she's pretty much a figure like a ballerina. And she says she feels great. But I recently picked her up during the act and it was literally like nothing. Another big thing I noticed was she worked on me again for massage last week. And all of the deep pressure she had before was gone and I could tell she was really struggling. But if I bring it up she gets defensive and tells me she feels better than ever and I should be happy for her. Which I am. I just worry and don't know what to do. The final straw here was our dog, who likes to walk underneath our legs all the time and nudge her head up. And has done so since she was a puppy. Literally lifted my wife off the ground last night. My wife laughed about it like it was funny. But I was alarmed. Our dog is part Mastiff, we think, and about 8,590 pounds. But still, that has never happened before. I just don't know how to approach her. Every time I have, she shuts it down. I know she still gets her period and she does eat with me. Just no junk food. She's never eaten big portions and those haven't changed, but the snacks afterwards are only me now. I can't blame someone for wanting to be healthy, but I just want to make sure she's okay. TLDR. Wife lost weight. She says she feels great, but I've noticed she's lost quite a bit and am concerned. I want to bring this up in the right way. Ask her, say you noticed and are concerned for her health. I'm going the opposite direction of these comments. If she has actually lost 20 to 25 pounds, if she's truly 105 to 110 pounds at 5 feet 7, she's severely underweight. I think you're going to have to talk to her because this is really serious if she's actually lost that much. Tell her you are worried about her health and ask her to see her doctor so you can stop worrying. If everything is fine, if you can get her to make an appointment to see her doctor, call them and let them know that you are concerned. As with every other mental health problem, it can be very hard to get someone to seek help. But from your description, she needs it. Now I do take BMI with a pinch of salt, but if she is now down to 110 pounds, your guesstimate should have a BMI of 17.4, which means she's now underweight and probably quite thin. I just do a check-in with her about health. Don't mention weight. Ask about other stressors like work or whatever. Are your math is well off and she's fine? I think it is okay for you to voice your concern and go from there. I'm 5 feet 6.5, 145 pounds, size 6 and 26 years old. So very similar to your wife before. In college, I hovered at about 120 pounds. So similar to your wife now. I honestly attribute that college weight to two things. Lack of access to nutritious foods and just general young person metabolism. I started gaining weight after I started going to the gym regularly and cooking, eating better meals. By better I mean home cooked, containing a protein, carb, and veggie and about 300,700 calories, meal, not necessarily following a diet plan. Now, I also focus primarily on strength training. So it's expected that I am bulkier than your wife. She is doing exercises that tend to lead to leaner body composition. So her losing weight could be completely fine. I would definitely consider keeping an eye on her because if it is an ED, she may be hiding it and you would then see her continue to lose weight and/or a change in energy, strength, general health, etc. Another thought I have because of recent trends would be that she is taking Ozempic, which, from what I've seen, makes you very skinny very fast at any rate. I don't think there would be harm in voicing your concerns in a neutral way to her. Maybe something like, "Hey honey, I've noticed you have lost a lot of weight and I don't want to seem overly concerned. But I love you and just want to make sure you are okay, and if not, I am here to help or support you. Good luck and I hope everything turns out fine." Just want to say to all the people saying he needs to have a discussion with her. Reading the initial post, it's pretty clear this discussion has already happened more than once. And either ignored or not taken well. Not that I have a solution. But telling him to do something, it's clear he has already tried to. No success is not helpful advice. If she no longer eats junk food and before was maintaining her weight, then it sounds like she is in a calorie deficit, which she might have to adjust with some more calories to maintain her current weight. If she is happy with it, not junk food, but maybe bigger portions. This happened to a good friend of mine. She lost almost 40 pounds. She was 5 feet 7 inches 5 feet 8 inches before and around 130,140 like your wife. She is now close to your wife's weight and dangerously thin, but had no idea she had lost weight. She struggles with anxiety and not eating was a way of control for her. It was really hard on our friendship when I brought it up, and the subject is still super taboo. Because she's still very, very small. I understand how hard it is to deal with this. My one piece of advice would be to focus on her health. Appearing weak. Being able to be swept away by your dog, rather than her body, because people who struggle with eating disorders are often really ashamed of their body and how it is perceived by others. She also might not have any idea that she has an issue, and she might be angry, in denial, dismissive when it is brought up also. Just as a warning, the loss of strength is indeed weird. My husband's butt vanished 1 week a couple years ago. I was worried and said so. Something like, "You've lost a lot of weight. When was your last doctor's appointment?" He saw a doctor, then got a call that he needed me to drive him to the emergency room. His blood was basically syrup. I doubt that's what it is for your wife. But my husband having diabetes was a complete surprise. Weird health stuff can sneak up on relatively healthy people. There are a lot of comments, so I'm hoping you've found some that help or you see mine. There are so many red flags in your wife's behavior. This is coming from someone with a diagnosed eating disorder. You need to voice your concerns immediately. I was about your wife's initial size when my ED kicked in. 5 feet 78 inches, weighing in at around 135 pounds. Whenever I gain weight, I am fortunate enough by societal standards to gain it proportionally. I've always had at least slight curves. At the thinnest I've ever been. I am a walking board. I am now 5 feet 10 inches, so that changes things slightly. Every time I relapse, the weight loss is noticeable. And much like your wife, I lose all of my strength. You have every right to be concerned. That being said, she could be losing the weight in a healthy, natural way and just so happens to be losing muscle mass while doing it. It happens. By no means do I want to diagnose your wife with anything, seeing as I am not licensed. But you definitely need to talk to her. I wish you and your wife the best. I personally would be worried about a woman with a height of 5 feet 7 inches weighing 105-ish pounds. But I'm not going to speculate purely based on weight. I think the real concern is that her ability to do her job is being impacted. And she won't tell you what her current weight is. I do think you should bring it up. Very gently. Something like, I've noticed you've been working out more and cutting back on junk. I am so proud you're taking care of your health. And it seems like your energy levels are good and your skin looks great. However, I'm also a little concerned. I already thought you were thin. And so how much weight you've lost is a bit worrying to me. I've also noticed that you're maybe struggling with some parts of your job. And that you're avoiding my questions regarding the weight loss. I wanted to talk to you to try to get some peace of mind for my own sake. I think how she responds here is telling. If she again tries to avoid it, I'd become more worried. I am 5.5 and went from 112 pounds to 91 in a few weeks due to undiagnosed type 1 diabetes. Has she any other symptoms like excessive thirst or pissing more? Could be serious, so would definitely get her to a doctor. In my experience as someone with a previous eating disorder, someone asking me if I was okay didn't do much. What you describe sounds like disordered eating behavior. She's making an effort to eat healthy and is evading talking about her sudden weight loss. Have there been any major life changes recently that might have sparked it? Loss of control in some aspect of life? I was in my teens when my eating disorder began and my parents brought me to a doctor against my wishes. I was immediately hospitalized. Your partner is an adult and you can't force her to see a doctor. But if you can convince her to see a mental health professional, especially one who specializes in eating disorders, I think it would be a great step. A big motivating factor for me to recover was learning that my eating disorder could lead to infertility and other long-term health effects. And this might sound backwards, but not commenting on her appearance, weight loss, eating habits might be good sometimes. Comments like those fuel an eating disorder because in a twisted way it means you are doing something right. If people notice it, expressing concern is important, but your choice of words is important. Maybe instead focus on her loss of strength and say that concerns you. I don't know, I read this post twice, and I can't shake off the feeling that it is a fake story. Since your wife said she doesn't care what her weight is, tell her you don't either, but you do care. If she is healthy, weight is just a number just like age, but if you've lost muscle mass, have kidney or liver issues, dizzy spells, etc., you need to get that straightened out. Don't let your concern be focused on a number on the scale or on her genes, but over the lack of strength. Talk to her about your worries, that you love her no matter what, and you want to keep loving for many more years. I weigh about that she does, and if I lost that much weight, I'd be in the hospital. This shouldn't be a conversation you shy away from. Watch your tone, but you absolutely need to address this. Is it possible she's secretly taking Ozempic? Its popularity seems to be on the rise, and from what I've heard, the weight loss results seem to match up with the time frame and her purported exercise routine. If that may be the case, And if she had some sort of body image issue that you hadn't been privy to prior, that could explain the shutting down and diverting when the topic comes up. Something could be holding her back from sharing that with you, hence the insistence on the everything is fine attitude. Either way, you should actually sit her down and talk. Cook a nice meal at home in a calming environment. Maybe a glass of wine. Not to get her drunk, Reddit. To add that extra, to the relaxation or whatever. You can even use her updated wardrobe size you noticed to be the entry point into the greater concern you want to ask about. Good luck, man. It's clear you love this woman, so may everything work out smoothly for you. She does sound too thin. 130 pounds at 5'7" sounds about right. 20-25 less than that is really thin. I wonder what the trigger was for the weight loss. Do you know if she's had this problem at other times in her life? Tell her to get her thyroid checked. It can cause crazy weight swings.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.